This work never ends.
Waiting right here.
Let me know if you have some time. I can train and certify you in something else. Let me know if you have some time. I can train and certify you in something else. Prove you know your way around a forge and I'll certify you. But you have to commit. I can only train one discipline at a time. I want you to craft a simple iron dagger. First you'll mine some iron ore, then refine the ore into iron ingots. You'll use those ingots to make the dagger. Yes, you have to prove you know your way around a blacksmithing station. Those are the rules. For now, bring me an armload of iron ore. Once you're back, you'll refine them into iron ingots. Bring the iron ore to a blacksmithing station. If you have enough, you can refine them into iron ingots. Really put your back into it. When you have iron ingots, return to me. Go to the blacksmithing station and craft an iron dagger. Nothing fancy. You shouldn't need more than 2 iron ingots. Oh, and you'll need a style material. You can purchase them from any blacksmith, or scavenge them yourself if you're thrifty.
Where's that help I was promised? I can't deal with this on my own.
Craft an iron dagger. You'll need some iron ingots. The trick is the style material, but I'm sure you know that. Next is deconstruction. You learn a lot when you break something into parts, even more so when it's someone else's work. Go deconstruct your dagger, or anything else really. as long as you do it at a blacksmithing station. You certainly know your way around a forge. You're a blacksmith, and let none tell you otherwise. Of course. I'll get you certified right away, so you can... Let me know if you have some time. I can train and certify you in something else. A good woodworker sees the final product before cutting the first block of wood. But I can't teach two crafts at once. If you commit yourself to the training, I want to know if you can craft a maple bow. Absolutely. Bows. Bring the rough maple to a woodworking station. Craft a maple bow at a woodworking station. I prefer to work with maple. It's reliable, plentiful. Craft a maple bow at a woodworking station. You'll need sand. Every race has a traditional material they work into their weapons and armor. For example, the Imperial style material is nickel. I should know. Craft a maple bow. A good bow will get you far. Excellent! Now we can talk about deconstruction. You grow... I've seen everything I need to see. Certainly. You're more than qualified. There's only one more certification I can... If you convince me you know how to use a needle and thread, I'll certify you. However, you must commit. Show me you can craft. Of course. It was the first... Take the raw jute to a clothing station. Head to the clothing station and craft... You call that speed? I've seen dozing Argonians move faster than that. Craft a pair of homespun gloves. You know, I'm a mess. Wonderful. Now for Deacon. You're more than capable with needle and thread. I'll be proud to call you my colleague. Already done. You'll now be able to fulfill clothier crafting writs, and I look forward to seeing more of your work. Truly, I never expected to master 3 crafts.
Never, I repeat, never attempt to draw magicka from the environment like this in the field. Disaster will be your
What do
only
you want?
reward.
Mastery of 3 crafts, is it?
Now I know some of you are wondering why.
Good to meet you here.
Trust me, the smell alone is worth staring for. Don't let this theory of non-conjoined...
Good to see you back again, Adept. The guild is stronger with you at our side.
You received my message. Excellent. I appreciate your prompt attention. New members of the Lifeblood of the Mages Guild, especially for retrieval missions. I've received word about a possible store of ancient knowledge in a ruin nearby. I'd like you to retrieve it for me. To the north of the city lies the ruin known as Ondel. If you please, investigate the ruin and bring back any interesting books you can find.
Here you can see the third law of arcane...
The ruins of Ondel are a dark and dangerous place. Tread carefully, Adept. I am the master of Incunabula, the keeper of tomes. I've come here to inspect the local Arcaneum, the guild's library. I've dedicated my life to expanding our guild's knowledge. Standards must be kept. We have ears everywhere, Adept. An intelligence report fell into my hands that mentioned these tomes. We are neutral in the war for Cyrodiil, and proud of it. That doesn't mean we don't take an interest when the eyes of the Queen notice something. The intelligence arm of the Aldmeri Dominion. Personally loyal to Her Majesty Queen Irene. My understanding is that many of their members used to adventure with Her Highness during her wild days. I don't know. It's always a delicious mystery cracking open a book for the first time. They could be anything from ancient recipes for stew to high arcana. Even racy journals penned by elven poets.
Here you can see the third law of arcane pyrodynamics in action, class. Do not treat these concepts lightly.
Vestige! You're the help the Skald King promised? Suddenly I feel a lot better about our chances. Still, this threat is bigger than King Yoren imagined. The Icereach Coven. Witches operating in secret right under the Skald King's ample nose. There's more going on than the usual Reach mischief, I'm sure of it. I need to investigate, but I can't do it by myself. Help me track down the Coven and figure out their ultimate plan. Between the two of us, we can cover more ground and determine the full extent of this threat. As long as the magic provided by Yoren's wizards works as promised, that is. Meet me in Grotwood. The Skald King's scouts spotted members of the Coven near Boar's Run. We'll start there. Meet me near the Overlook at the Eldenroot Temple. As for the magic, I'll tell you more about that when we're away from prying eyes. King Yoren sent me to look into a sudden barrage of storms in the Sea of Ghosts. At least 2 ships sank beneath the freezing waves. The Icereach Coven was responsible. I uncovered evidence suggesting they're planning an attack on the mainland. I'm not exactly sure. That's why we need to investigate. But if they have the ability to summon destructive storms on command, think of the damage they can inflict on towns and cities. Look, are you ready to go, or do you need time to prepare? This is the place. Can't say I know what Reach witches would be doing here. But the Skald King scouts have never sent me on a wild guar chase before. Let's see if the trek out here was worth it. I was getting to that. At Icereach, I picked up a couple of the medallions the witches were wearing, for further study by the Skald King's wizards. The wizards determined that magic was infused into the jewelry, but not its purpose. The Skald King's wizards added their own spell to the medallions. We each get one. Here. They're supposed to lead us to magic similar to what's contained in the medallions. Icereach magic. Wave it around and see what happens. Don't look at me. It's not like Nords are known for being great mages, so whatever the Skald King's wizards did may not work, or it could explode. Hold up the medallion and see if you can make it work. Thanks to the Skald King's wizards, it should lead us to magic similar to what's contained in the jewelry. Icereach magic. Just take it out and give it a try.
Y'ffre, the singer, the storyteller, who resides in the now.
A bit rude, that?
Dwellers of darkest oblivion, come forth. The veil is pierced. Pass through the gate, I entreat thee. by chaos, by the void, and by the darkness, may the doors of oblivion be flung wide. Somebody come!
Thank you.
Summon the blood sacrifice.
When Cold Harbor calls, Nirn obeys.
It actually worked. Follow that trail. I'll take the other one. So, find anything that will help us locate the Ice Reach Coven? I was led to a similar site. Damn witches! Whatever game the Ice Reach Coven is playing out, we need to put an end to it. Preferably with multiple swings of my axe. Let me see the note you found. That's no help. Luckily, Yoren's scouts provided a few locations of interest with their last report. Let me mark them on your map. When you reach each location, use the medallion and see where the magic leads. I'll catch up with you shortly. First ice storms, now fire. Keep your guard up. The Coven won't hesitate to kill anyone who gets too close.
Over here! Oh, thank Ifre. I wasn't sure I would find anyone out here. My village needs help. The forest has turned against us. I don't know how else to describe it. Spriggans and Sench just started tearing through our village in numbers. We've had to take refuge in the sacred cave where we hold our religious ceremonies. Trethane Roland sent me to look for outside help. I don't know what he intends. He said something about a horrible crime. I think he thinks the forest is trying to exact justice for something. He's in the sacred cave with the others.
My husband, Ninglanel, went for a walk yesterday morning. Said he wanted to get away from the squabbling at Eldenroot. He hasn't come back. I went looking for him this morning with our dog, and now my dog has wandered off. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. The last place I saw our dog eat was near the fork in the road that leads to Cormount, just west of here. Take this whistle. Use it when you get to the fork in the road. I'll wait here in case he comes home.
ironic. Huh. We come back to my homeland and I'm the one that falls into a ravine. I used to scale these rocks like they were stairs. I guess none of us are immune to the ravages of time. Just give me a second and I'll head back home. I knew Eat wouldn't leave me here to rot. Ms. Zahabi will be worried sick. Thank you.
Brackenleaf Spry has built this shrine, as tribute to the animals of Grotwood. We're hunters who seek balance in all things. Most of us are wood elves native to Grotwood, but any who wish to learn the ways of the forest can undertake our trials and join our ranks. Assuming they survive. Within Brackenleaf's forest, just outside of Haven, bordered by the long coast, our leader's name is Glaris. If you choose to seek her out, do yourself a favor. Be respectful, and she'll do the same for you.
Mortal, you stand above the sealed ruins of Leyloria. Within is a gateway to Cold Harbor, where my priestess, Kulanway, suffers at the hands of Molag Bal. Her pain is so great, it has torn a hole between worlds. This injustice must end. I am the Daedric, Prince of Dawn and Dusk, who weeps for Kulanway's suffering. I am the Mother of the Rose, who sealed Leyloria away from your world. I am Azura, mortal, and I would have you end Kulanway's endless torment. Long ago, the wizard Vestari came to Leiloria. She sought to end Kulanway's suffering, but Vestari failed and was lost. Go to Vestari's tower, retrace her path into Leiloria, and mortal, set Kulanway's bones to rest. Vestari kept careful records of her struggle to pierce Leiloria's seal. They remain scattered in her tower. Find them, use them to breach the seal and recover Kulanway. A powerful wizard who built the tower behind you. She studied Leiloria for years, always patient, until finally she found a way through. But despite her preparations, Molag Bal's servants overwhelmed her companions. She was forever lost. Leiloria is the mouth of a bottle that floats through Cold Harbor. My seal is the cork. Should I release the seal, Molag Bal's servants will pour into Leiloria until they have nowhere else to go but here. Vestari found a way to slip past the seal, as must you. Kulanway was the most beloved of my servants. Her voice bent the world to her will, yet she used her power for selfless works until she was taken to Cold Harbor. Molag Bal made her song of pain last millennia, but in his distraction, you will recover her. A powerful wizard who built the tower behind you.
again? I mean, yes, mortal? Greetings, outsider. As the will of my prince is eternal, I heed your call. Azura. You know of Azura, don't you? Erai the Fleet, she named me. But that was long ago. This shriveled vessel is but a shadow of my former glory. My wings ache to soar the skies of oblivion once more. Vestari pierced the seal with a relic known as the Twilight Heart. It still stands before the gates of Leyloria, bereft of magical energies. You'll need to feed it souls, and with all these Daedra about, you'll have your pick. The wizard Vestari kept quite the stock of sigil geodes, which I suppose should do. There are still some around. I can smell them from here. Of course, she was the last to summon me. Together we opened the ruins of Leyloria. She ventured in with her noble companions. I watched them die in a flood of Daedra. It was all I could do to escape and seal the ruin, Vestari's final command. Ignoring the fact that my prince's unbreakable will compels me to open the way to Leyloria, despite the unspeakably bloody terror to greet you on the other side. You could be Molag Bal himself for all I know. I'd still help you open the door, Lord of Brutality or not. You aren't him, are you? Good, good. I'd expect the Harvester of Souls to be taller. Try waiting in a rock until someone calls your name. Then watch them reduce to a smear of viscera the moment you do what they've asked you to do. You try to find joy where you can. The joy of aiding another, of course. Of course, she... Here are the sigil geodes. Quite simple to use. Pointed at the Daedra you want to absorb, and the sigil geode does the rest. A pretty stone. Point it at any Daedra and concentrate. Your target will be mesmerized by its faceted glow until the hapless fool is drawn into the stone. And take care with your aim. Yes, but only the least of them. It won't work on a Daedric prince if that's what you're thinking. It might work, but if you tried, who would help you open Leyloria? Ignoring the fact that my prince is So... the power! I'd forgotten how it feels! Follow, outsider. Come see my prince's glorious domain. Vastari! You live?
Yes, Irai, despite your efforts.
My prince's children were legion. They should have overwhelmed you.
Molag Bal's chattel are nothing to me.
Blasphemy!
Stranger, if you're a foe to Molag Bal, stand with me.
Fools! I'll feast them on your eyes!
Nowhere to fly, fiend. You can't escape me. The sigil geode? Do you still have it? Touching the sigil geode to Irai's forehead will absorb her soul. It's the only way we'll ever leave this. If she dies outside of that stone, we'll spend the next century counting the tiles in this place. I noted 32,708, but you're welcome to check my figures. In the depths of this ruin is a portal leading straight to Cold Harbor. We can only close it from the other side. Once in Cold Harbor, we'll have no hope of escape unless Irai is inside that stone. Quickly! I can't keep this up for long.
It doesn't matter what you do to me. You'll be dead or trapped for 1,000 years. Molag Bal is my prince, you fool! I let Vastari believe I was Azura's servant, just as I let you believe. I led you into Cold Harbor's grasp, morsels for the god of schemes to pick from between his teeth. You can never truly escape Cold Harbor, soul shriven. My prince always gets what he wants. If you escaped, it's because he allowed it. Do it! I've spent countless centuries imprisoned in a tablet. That stone would be a delightful change of scenery. Perhaps the Banekin will pick it from your corpse and bring me to my prince. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
At last, after all these years. I'm not one to hope any creature suffers, but with Irai, I'll make an exception. She can spend eternity in the sigil geode for all I care. Irai is bound to her tablet. While she's within the sigil geode, we can use her as a tether to escape from Cold Harbor. If I hadn't been so quick to destroy her those years ago, my companions would still be alive. Come. At the base of these ruins is the hole her torment tears between worlds. But the moment we enter, Molag Bal's servants are likely to sense our presence. I'd have long ago made the attempt myself, if I had anywhere to flee. We must find Kulan Wei and free her from whatever cruel device causes her so much pain. Doing so should end her torment. When she no longer cries out, the rift between Cold Harbor and Leyloria should close, I hope. I kept this library clear of Daedra, but the chambers beyond are home to a variety of the creatures. It may be best to avoid them. Can you feel her suffering, her agony? For 1,000 years, her pain tunneled through the void, always reaching for her last memories of a life free of suffering. No more! Shatter the soul prisons. They shackled Kulan Wei to this wretched place. done it! We freed Kulanway from her torment. Oh, it was worth the wait. Irai brought us both through the seal. It's only fitting she bring us back. I can use the sigil geode to trace her soul back, and then it's a simple matter to open a portal. Are you ready? Then prepare yourself. Departing Cold Harbor is never easy. It is good to stand beneath the sky once more, to feel the breeze upon my skin. And I wouldn't have made it here without you. My home is always open to you, should you care to visit. 88 years, 3 months, 11 days, 13 hours, 7 minutes. All right, I'm showing off. I used a simple spell to mark the time. It was the first thing I did when I realized I was trapped. It's not entirely precise, so I had to guess the minutes. Clear my Tower of Daedra for one. Memorialize my companions who did not return. Organize my effects. Then I'll find out what has transpired in this world since I left. I have some catching up to do. I opened my home to many I met in my travels. A young Redguard swordsman, a scarred wood elf hunter, a Psijic outcast. I can still hear their voices. But that was 90 years ago. Those not killed by the Daedra must have fled. For a time, though I expect my attention shall be drawn elsewhere soon enough. There was something different in Cold Harbor. The air was a little too full, the fires too bright. Molag Bal's Corner of Oblivion holds many secrets. I plundered several from his halls a lifetime ago. Did you know I did it to impress a boy? What a fool I was. Telekar, a powerful mage, brilliant, always focused upon his work, hardly striking, though such things never mattered to me. It took my escapade in Cold Harbor to convince him there were adventurous women outside of his books, but that was long ago.
Kulanway, beloved of the Wild Ones, my priestess returns from the clutches of Cold Harbor at last. So I have seen. A mortal has managed what the eternal dead could not. Much when it is time. You have taught humility to a Daedric prince, mortal. Tread carefully, for he will attempt to exact his revenge. Now go with my blessing. When I have need of you, you will know.
We've observed your travels through Grotwood and have need of your particular talents. Our eyes are everywhere in Grotwood. We've fixed them upon you for some time. We're in need of an outsider, unknown in Cormount. Someone with versatility. I'm privileged to be a Vinedusk Ranger. We report directly to King Camorin Eredon, ruler of the Wood Elves. We protect his rule against all threats, without or within. The Black Sap Rebellion, for one. Though nearly broken at the Dominion's formation, its last remnants plague Cormount. With your help, we can finally end our civil war. If you're agreeable, I'll open a portal to our base of operations. Give me a moment to open the portal. There you go. Quickly now, enter the portal. Hold. We've observed your travels through Grotwood and have need of your particular talents.